So this is day 2 of 100 Days of Theology. Today, we're going to chat very quickly about Theopoetry, which is a term that I first heard from a guy named John Caputo, who's a philosopher theologian. And a lot of times we've got these difficulties when we come to reading the Bible, in part because we teach people how to read literature and science fiction and even poetry, but that's not exactly the genre of the Bible. And he came up with it, or maybe he got it from somewhere else. But the term of theopoetry, I think, is magnificent, because theology is often grasping at or trying to name the thing that everyone is experiencing. And most often, the word for that mystery behind all things is God. But a lot of times, even in the Bible, there's like a variety of words to name God, to name the experiences of God. And so sometimes it's best to understand that what we are always doing when we do theology is actually kind of theopoetry, that there's a symbolism. These words that we use, they are not the thing itself, but they're pointing at the thing itself. So you could have a sign that says this way to the Grand Canyon, but that's not the Grand Canyon itself. And so it's good to remember that that signpost is not the Grand Canyon, because some people would camp out at that sign and never actually get to the Grand Canyon itself. Same thing here with theology. We tend to get very, very fixated on the words. And words are helpful because they're signs, they're signposts. They grasp towards the thing that we're all experiencing. But the words themselves aren't the thing we are experiencing. So it's sometimes good to remember that as you do theology, you're actually doing a form of poetry. And there's a long tradition of missing the point and using theology as a science rather than a poetry. Now, again, don't get me wrong, words are important. They're good signposts. But let's hold on to these words loosely while also respecting the words, because they are certainly pointing at something deep and profound. All right, this was day 2 of 100.